Believe in Everything Auburn is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season, everything from NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. So just head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit if you use our promo code BELIEVE, that is BLEAV, to receive a 50% welcome bonus on betonline.ag. BetOnline, where the game starts. War Eagle, everybody. Welcome to Believe in Everything Auburn. I am Taylor Davis. He is, of course, Jason Campbell. And we welcome you into a very special episode. And I think I say that a lot, but emphasis on very, because it's been a minute since we had an interview and we delivered, I will say. We have a fantastic guest joining us. It's definitely one that we have been hoping to get for several months, but as you all can imagine, he is quite busy. I am talking about none other than Carnell Cadillac Williams. He is joining us at the end of this episode talking all about the crazy end for him last season, the transitional period from interim head coach to associate head coach under Hugh Freeze, recruiting, transfer portal, his time at Auburn, his time there now and how different it is. He talked about the difference now versus when he was a player, and really, really insightful, interesting interview from a guy that has really experienced quite the whirlwind in the past few months. So you are definitely in for a treat. Make sure you stick around through the end of that one. But Jay and I are going to hit you with a few headlines around Auburn athletics before we get into that interview. But I kind of just gave a little bit of a teaser. But Jay, I know that anytime we get any of your, former teammates, it's always special. But you and Lack and several of the guys have stayed close and are good friends. And I know what, pride you had seeing him succeed on that level and get the opportunity to really showcase what Auburn means. So hearing him talk and kind of share his experience through it must be pretty surreal.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's fun too, just to hear. Lack didn't talk a whole lot when we was in college.
Really?
When he did, it was very fun and energetic, and he had fun when he did.
I'm sure, but he was a little more reserved.
Yeah, I think he talks more now. I think being a coach and having that opportunity to be around players and families. You have to open up. And I think he really opened up to us tonight. I think the fans, I think the people are really going to enjoy what he had to say. And that's the true him. You don't have to guess who Lack is. He's going to show you exactly who he is and everything. He's about these players, and he's about building confidence, and he's about, making sure they have a future, not just in sports, but in life. And I think that's so important. I think we miss that a lot because everyone wants to talk about, like he was saying, accolades or, now you have NIL and you have, all these different things seem to like take over the president of what are you here for?
Right.
Graduate, let's graduate. Let's have one of the better graduating classes, to come through, at the same time. What else you here for? You're here to play football, but build relationships while you're at it. Don't just come through here and float through. So I thought that was great, very important to hear. And like I said, he kind of represents a lot of what a lot of our guys was like.
We'll quit teasing you on it. I'm sure a lot of listeners are like, I'm going to fast forward to that so y'all can stop now. But it's a fantastic interview. We're incredibly grateful that Lack took the time to do that. Also, if you're listening as a podcast, we are doing video. We are on YouTube. If you are interested in watching, especially the interview, we did that interview on video with Lack as well, so you can see the three of us have that conversation. That is available on Believe's YouTube channel. If you are listening to this as a podcast, you can go over there and check out video as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a few news and notes around Auburn athletics. I think it was after you and I recorded last week, we talked a lot about the transfer portal additions last week, and we were talking about the trenches, and you kind of alluded that there might be another big one coming. And after we recorded, that one was official. We have gotten Kentucky defensive lineman Justin Rogers committed to Auburn. He is a former 4-star, plenty of playing time in Lexington. So another big get in the trenches. And clearly that is a priority of this coaching staff. That is something that they sought out in the transfer portal and have not let up on. And so definitely exciting and always good to have somebody with SEC experience. Also, football related, A-Day has officially been announced. It is happening on Saturday, April 8th. Apologies to the golf community because that is the same Saturday as the Masters, but a lot of things to look forward to for this football team.
Who did it? Who
I know.
who put A-Day on Masters weekend?
I know. But regardless, if you are interested in getting a little sneak peek of the football team or just being back around football, as we all are eager for come April, that date is official. It is April 8th. Tickets will go on sale shortly, as will the broadcast information for where it will be broadcast. But we are going to talk all football with Lack. Those were just a couple new points that I needed to add in, but we're going to hit on some basketball and gymnastics, and then we'll get to the football with Lack toward the end of it. So the basketball team is currently 14-3 overall. They are 4-1 in the SEC, number 16 in the AP poll, defeated Mississippi State Saturday night. Did you trash talk your brother?
I didn't trash talk him. Anytime
That's
you go
nice of you.
0 for 18 from the 3-point line, like, come on. I could have walked out there. I could have walked out there and made 5 for 18 right now. I hadn't shot a basketball in months.
How do you not make one? Defeated Mississippi State at home on Saturday. They will be at LSU on Wednesday and at South Carolina on Saturday. They are currently 2-2 on the road. They're 10-0 at home. So obviously, these environments are tough. And like we've said for the past several seasons, Auburn draws good crowds now. Like, they're one of those teams. I feel like we've kind of created new rivalries in a weird way. Like, the Arkansas game had a little bit of extra heat to it because of the way it went and ended last year. So we've kind of created this new, we're the team that everybody wants to beat. And we're a team that fan bases want to come out and watch play. And so these road environments are definitely testing, and LSU got pummeled by Alabama last week. I mean, just demolished.
They didn't get off the bus.
Ooh, they didn't. That they are going to be trying to right all those wrongs. And then South Carolina on Saturday. I've actually gone to a game in Columbia. They have a great atmosphere as well. So it doesn't get easier from here, as we all know. But really, if you include postseason, they're kind of at the halfway mark, which is crazy. I mean, the start of the tournament is, I guess, a little less than 2 months away. So it's time you kick it into gear now. But watching what you've seen of them, Jay, in person, on TV, how have they come together? You've talked about Johnny Broome and his involvement. Alan Flanagan kind of being, when he's on, it feels like this team is on. Talk to me a little bit about how you're seeing them kind of gel together.
Ooh. A tale of two different halves. As far as like basketball, before the new year, we was all kind of like skeptical because we wasn't really getting good guard play. We was turning the ball over a lot. We wasn't playing the style defense that Bruce is used to our team playing. And now it looks like we've turned it up to another level. Ever since the Georgia loss, this has looked like a different basketball team. And I was at the Arkansas game. They played great defense. Guards didn't turn the ball over as much. They was very passive. I would say, we're a very shooting happy team. Let's just say it. but for whatever reason, now that they're playing a little bit more calmer, they realize not every shot is a good shot. Let me understand what are really good shots. And I think that's another step that they've taken. The lineup has changed a little bit. You see Trey getting a little bit more time off the bench. Zepp is pretty much coming off the bench now a little bit.
Yeah.
Flanagan is in the starting lineup, but he's also playing very aggressive, getting to the rim. You're seeing his athleticism that you saw before he had the major injury.
Right.
And I think, Jalen Williams, he looks comfortable shooting a three. Let's be
He
honest.
does.
He came out and got us going against Mississippi State. He got hot, and it seemed like that it just kept rolling over to the other teammates, and they started shooting the ball. If we could shoot the ball the way we shot the ball against Mississippi State and against Arkansas, then I like us in 2 months to have an opportunity. I don't know how far we go, because
Yeah.
that's why you play the tournament.
Right.
And I just feel like, but I like us getting better at the right time, and not, some teams start hot like we did last year, and we tailed off towards the end.
True.
This year is almost like the opposite. Now let's just see if it can continue, because Boom is getting better. All our new guys are getting accustomed, and we even had a walk-on this week to get some playing time. So, he's exalting everybody on the bench right now. So
right.
I think you need that depth.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen so many years that getting healthy and staying healthy toward March is imperative. Peaking at the right time is imperative. Like you have to play this thing methodically because of how much postseason puts on your team, So, but your gymnastics team is going to be at home this Friday night, the home opener for the 2023 season, and Auburn will be hosting Arkansas, led by head coach Jordan Weber, which is a fantastic name in the gymnastics community, as is our very own Suni Lee, who will be in her first home meet. I really stretched that one, but it is.
You got me thinking right there.
I know, right? As we have all stated, this is her last season at Auburn. She is going to forego the rest of her NCAA career to pursue elite gymnastics again. The girl is trying for Paris Olympics. She is a stud, and she very well could make a second Olympic team. So this will be her last year at Auburn. So if you are interested in seeing her, make sure you try and get tickets this season. I have been told that the meet is sold out this Friday, but check anyway if you're interested in going. They will be hosting Arkansas, like I said. They are coming off a loss to Florida, but a respectable 197-2. They're actually going to be dropping the banner for the Final Four finish at National Championship last year. So it'll be a special night in the arena, and looking forward to seeing them continue their path, hoping to make nationals for a second straight year. So with that, we will go ahead and transition to our interview, something that we are very much looking forward to, and we know that all of our listeners are going to enjoy as well. So here is Cadillac Williams. Enjoy. All right, people. Well, without further ado, Jason and I are absolutely thrilled to welcome in our guest, who truly needs no introduction, Cadillac Carnell Williams. We are so excited to have you. It's been a long time coming, but you've been a little busy in the last few months. You're a hard guy to track down these days, but thank you so much for joining us. And we've got plenty to chat with you about. But War Eagle, first of all, and give me kind of a summary. How have the past few months of your life in Auburn been?
It has been different in a good way, I would say. It's so weird because now I was actually talking to Jason earlier. It's like I'm more popular now than I actually was when I was playing ball. Well, I wouldn't say popular. People recognize me a lot more because, as football players, we have our helmets on.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't really recognize your face. But since I got thrown into the fire as the interim head coach, the face is more recognizable just around town, actually in airports, Atlanta, Tampa, even places I travel, just to see the buzz and people staring and, coming up to me. But it has been ecstatic, to be honest with you. I'm very humble and honored for the opportunity, and just, thank God for it, to be honest with you.
Incredible. I know that, honestly, we're probably lucky that Zoom has a cutoff on timing, because I would keep you for hours. I have so much I could talk to you about. And I know you and Jay, obviously former teammates and good friends. So we'll ping pong here. Don't worry. But I think that what's interesting about it, like you said, obviously people knew you as a player, but you've almost tapped into another generation now, right? Everyone knew the name and the number and the records, but now to kind of associate you as a coach and as what you what you did for Auburn this past year, you probably expanded your outreach a little bit, right? Which is probably both a little bit overwhelming, but also so special, especially for a guy like you who has talked so much about serving and about pouring into the hearts of your players, right? Talk to me a little bit about, just taking on that mindset with this opportunity, because I feel like we all probably looked at this situation you got thrown into and we're like, that's a lot for anyone, much less someone who's never been a head coach before, right? Talk to me a little bit about just kind of the mindset you were in when, your name was called to do something that really there was no blueprint to do.
Oh, honest with you, and I want to be honest and blunt. When I first got asked to do it by Rich and Dr. Roberts, I kind of asked them. I said, "Are you guys sure? Me? No, no way. I'm not a head coach." So start off with that, but. Wow. Like you say, it was just no blueprint.
Yeah.
And honestly, thank God for the players. And I honestly say that because my room, guys in my room from the Tank Bids with Jarquez, Hunter, DeMar, Austin, Deshaun, Jackson, those guys that I actually coach. When I got thrown in that fire, they could see the first 2 days. It was, I never had a headache. My entire face had a headache, and I just never experienced it. And them guys can see the stress, and I can remember them guys coming in my office, and they like, "Coach, just like be you, Coach."
Wow.
They're like, just act like it's us in the room, Coach. You're like, "Coach, we've been trying to tell you for a long time, you have a way with words, you impact us in a powerful way." And he was like, "Coach, I'm just telling you, if you would just be you, Coach, these guys will buy in." So honestly, through a lot of prayer and hearing my guys say that, it actually calmed my nerves, to be honest with you. And I just simplified, to be honest with you. I said, what is things that is important to me that when I was a player, from as a player, as a coach, what's things that I wanted to do, and how did I live my life and model a lot of stuff, seeing my mom. So honestly, it served discipline and believe. And I shared to those guys. I can remember telling those guys that I want them guys to have what I have. And I was telling them, I'm not from the accolades, what I've done on the field, or the success, or the name Cadillac. I said, like, I want you guys to have the joy that I have. Like, I want you guys to have the relationship that I have created here at Auburn, and the relationships I have through the game of football. And that simply comes from the way that I treat people, because people going to remember how you make them feel. So one of the big things is, like I was telling those guys, is your talent, got you guys to a lot of this level, but your character is the most important thing that's going to get you through life, and that's going to sustain you through life, and what's going to bring you even more success. So it's Auburn. It's about family. Yeah. It's about building relationships with other people. It's about caring. It's about serving. So those are the things that, I really wanted to get over to the team, the staff, everybody. And look, this not a one-man show. Look, I had a staff. Wow. I tip my hat off to the staff. I'm talking about the support staff. Yeah. I'm talking about the team coaches. I'm talking about the Robbie, his team, Dr. Goodlett. I'm talking about the academic people. And then the Auburn family, the strength staff. It's a lot of people that play roles, because one thing that I learned through this situation that I got thrown in is you have to be aligned, and everybody got to be on one accord. And I can honestly say, man, thank God that that staff, they entrusted me, those players entrusted me, and then I just wanted to be vulnerable with those guys and just give them me.
Well, I will say this. I know one reason why, Lack probably was nervous and felt a lot of pressure because when you're an ex-athlete, a lot of people always just expect things just to be automatic. And when it's not automatic, they don't care the fact that you haven't ever been a head coach. They don't care the fact that they just think that any great player can just step in that position and all of a sudden things are just going to happen.
It's a good point.
So, those are the things we think about as players, ex-players, when you become coaches or becoming these big roles is how do you fulfill the obligation? But at the same time, we know that there are crazy expectations that people don't realize all the things that you have to do while you're still learning how to do it. So, I think he did a great job with all of that coming at you, but that's a lot of reasons why we feel a lot of pressure. That's why as his teammates that played with him at Auburn felt that way. But talk about these two experiences, the Mississippi State game at halftime, what was said, because these guys came out rocking and rolling in the second half, fired another level. And then talk about the A&M game where it was a sold-out crowd, 2, 3, and 6 teams.
Honestly, at halftime, the Mississippi State game, I'm jogging off the field, and one thing that we said all week, fight or quit. And we are going to be together. And I told him, I don't care if we win a game. I want to see Auburn football. I want to see us play hard. And I want to see us play for each other. And when I got in that locker room and to hear those players back and forth saying, fight or quit, we going to play for each other. Like, to hear them coming together, and we was down, 23-3, 26, something that we were down crazy. And to hear those players, like everybody rallying together, because before that, and the coaches that was on staff know at halftime, even when we was up at game, it felt like we was losing.
Yeah.
And to hear those seniors from the Dare Hall, the Owen, the Shankers, the Luke Deal, to hear those guys, man, in that locker room, saying, man, we're going to fight for each other. We're not done. We're going to win this game, man. I went back to the coaches, and I'm like, yo, guys, we were out of whack. We had some turnover. We did some things that won the Auburn football. It was outside. I said, well, man, let's be positive with these guys, man. They're saying the right thing. So let's go out there, man. Let's make these adjustments that we need to make, which honestly, it wasn't many adjustments that we need to make. It was just some things that we had. People had to win their one-on-one battles, some things that we weren't getting accomplished there. But man, honestly, it wasn't much said. The players really, they made their mind up. Those seniors and those guys made their mind up that they was gonna go out and play Auburn football, and that's exactly what they did. And just to expand on that Texas A&M game, so going into that week, going into that game, wow, we had a great week of practice. I'm talking about from just the enthusiasm and practice, the way those guys was upbeat, way they was flying around. You would have thought that we were freaking 9-0. Like the way guys were flying around, the way everybody was having fun. It was, I'm telling you, I was just blown away, like, wow. So I think the big point of that Texas A&M game, I think getting off of that bus and those kids, young men, seeing the Auburn family at Tiger Walk. I'm telling you, like, the players, they're still talking about it. Oh. They're still asking me, like, they like, Coach Lack, this is what the Auburn you've been telling us about. This is the Auburn that, we want to be a part of, that's awesome. So I honestly think the Auburn family, the fans, the way they came and supported those players, sold out the game. I mean, we were 3-6, guys. Game sold out. And then those guys, they played for each other, man.
Yeah.
They played for the fans. Like, big thing we were talking about, like, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, how do you guys want to send these seniors out? Because those seniors, man, they have been through a rough time. I mean, COVID. No, got 2 head coaches, many position coaches, the whole George Floyd, like that. Those guys has been through so many things, and it's almost like, man, look, we got to pay it forward to these guys who done paved the way and done made this place great, man. So let's play for these guys. Like, let's play for these seniors. Let's play for each other. Let's play for your family. Let's play for the Auburn family. And man, what a time that was. Like, wow. I was, wow.
I know that, I mean, what I've learned working with Jay and having you on the podcast before and some of y'all's other teammates, I just find that y'all all get it. Like, there's such an understanding of what Auburn represents, and it has nothing to do with the X's and O's. It has nothing to do with your record. It's about the spirit of Auburn. And with that is a loyalty and a family atmosphere. And I understand you saying believe me, it was all hands on deck. And I totally agree with you. Kudos to everyone that was involved that kept that thing afloat, from staff to players to fans. It was a team fight, right? But I fully believe that no one was better suited for the job than you, because you got what was missing and you could implement it quickly for these guys. And I'm just curious and Jay, I would love your input on this too. What was it about y'all's experience in Auburn that created this understanding for y'all? Because I think, y'all's team and several since then, but especially y'all's, it's like there was just a different understanding of what it represented, and y'all have carried it throughout in whatever career path you went. Like, what was it about your playing experience that helped create this real understanding of what Auburn means?
Well, I say for me, like, it's all about the brotherhood. We talk about this now. We're on group text together. We're about 15, 16 guys. So it's about 3 different group chats going on. I have to put mine on silent, so otherwise it'd be going through all day. But I really feel tough for these kids today, because they won't get a chance to experience what we experience. And I'm going to tell you why. The transfer portal has changed a lot of things, where kids transfer after the first year. They don't give things time to marinate, time to season. They want instant results. They want instant play time. They want just instant gratification instead of working hard and let things kind of mold you. We went through some times where we was molded. We had a lot of learning curves, and we did it together. And it wasn't about accolades. It wasn't about, whose name was front in the paper. It was all about getting that W. But at the end of the day, we talked about life in the locker room. Where now these kids may talk about finances in the locker room. And we're trying to keep that stuff at a low, but at the same time, they're still 18 to 22-year-old kids with all this new stuff thrown at them. Yeah. How do you adapt? And I just feel like, because we was together all 4 years, it built a long-lasting, not just college friendship, but lifelong friendship, well until we're old and great. And I just feel like we still do things together. We still golf. We still, see each other. Lat was just at the house for my birthday. Yeah. Just different things like that, trying to take over the pool table. But, he did
take over the pool table.
Oh, okay.
He had his times. But I would just say that the brotherhood, and I just hope these guys get it, to understand, like, don't let money and all this other stuff think that that's your true happiness. Your true happiness is relationships with people. Yeah. And being able to talk and being able to have someone that want to be around you and being able to have that open door. And I just hope that this generation can see through that and let NIL be a blessing and not a crutch.
Jason hit it right on the head. Yeah. Brotherhood. I mean, and man, these kids gotta go through the process. Yeah. Like you got to learn how to enjoy the journey that you are on, and take adversity when it hit together. Whenever you're in college, and as Jason know, we went and did amazing things. I always got drafted first round. A lot of from Ryan and Carlos. Myself, guys, got drafted first round with NFL, accomplished all that, but we still come back to our college years. And I try to tell those guys that no matter how much money you made, no matter how much success you made, it's not going to get no better than these 4 or 5 years that you going to have in college. Yeah. So a lot of kids, like Jason say, from the transfer portal, where kids are, jumping ship, like, God, dog it, create those memories. Like, I mean, go through the struggle.
Yeah.
Like you like anything, worth having got to go through the fire. So you got to go through those peaks and valleys with your brothers, wherever you at. The grass is not always green on the other side. It's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about being on this journey and doing life together. And I'm so honored, to be able to have my Auburn family, my Auburn brothers, like Jason say. I mean, we got 2-3 group chats where we're still doing life together.
Yeah.
Like we're 2 decades later, and we all check on each other, our families, man. We still keep up to be. We still pouring into kids, serving, and I just think that that comes from that Auburn family, that Auburn feel, and I think not to flip the subject. I honestly think that Coach Freeze and the staff that he has brought on board, man. I feel like I was telling Jason, I feel that what we had at Auburn, like it feels like that blue collar mentality, that work hard work. Everybody getting in, guys are on the same page. I know it's early. I know we still gotta put the pieces together, man. But you got coaches starting with Coach Freeze leadership, meeting players right where they at. We're not on this pedestal like we can't be touched. No, we're here to serve you guys. Like, it's a blessing. Like, we are doing this. We are getting opportunity to coach college football because of these kids. Like, they employ us.
Yeah.
So it's truly a blessing, man, to be able to, be around these kids and be able to be around this game of football.
I think you transitioned excellently, because that was definitely next on my list. Obviously, Auburn was undergoing a coaching search, and your name was certainly out there and involved. And then Auburn hires Hugh Freeze, and his first order of business is to not only retain you, but to promote you associate head coach. Talk to me a little bit about that period of time for you, because I have to imagine after the 4 games that you experienced and the highs, the lows, but I hear you talk about how rewarding it was and how it affected you. So you come off of that, you're now given an opportunity to stay, be in a different role. What was that time period like for you? And was there any, doubt in your mind that was going to be the next step for you?
Well, I'm telling you, I went from, when they asked me to be the interim head coach, to no way. The first, like, me, I'm not ready. Week 4, like, I think I can do this.
I can do this.
Like, wow. Like, just seeing the transformation in the guys.
Yeah.
But when John and Rich came and told me that, that they was going a different direction, Coach Freeze was going to be the guy, I was disappointed.
Sure.
I was, disappointed, to be honest with you, but didn't really know what I wanted to do. Honestly, I was prepared to, like, this may be it, because me and my wife were just talking. I'm like, man, if I don't get the job, like, I don't want whoever they hire, I don't want to be forced on anybody. I said, so if I don't get the job, baby, it probably, and she agreed. I said, probably not going to be a good time for me to stay just with the,
I get it. Yeah.
I don't want that, but whenever they told me, I disappointed, but I said, I do want to talk to Coach Freeze face to face before I make any decision. Like I told him, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. But man, so Freeze got in about 9 p.m. that night. Got the opportunity to talk to him in person. I'm talking about within the first 20 minutes, I went from telling them that I was going to think about it for a couple of days, because they're like, won't you be a part of it, to I'm shaking Coach Freeze's hand like, yo, I'm locked in. Let's go do it. I mean, he, first of all, he is a, God-fearing man, very strong in his faith. He's about serving. he is about meeting players right where they are. I mean, it's about the players.
Yeah.
And man, he absolutely enjoy Auburn, like loves Auburn. Like it's evident. Like I felt that vibe I felt that from him.
Wow.
So man, I am excited for Coach Freeze, his family. Man, I'm excited for the new opportunity I got as associate head coach to help Coach Freeze and the staff that he has brought along, man. The recruiting process, man, guys been working their tail off, and it's just a bunch of people just embracing the Auburn culture.
Yeah.
And just the tradition of Auburn, and we are gonna let Auburn be Auburn, and we will be okay. And
yeah.
I think Coach Freeze, I know that Coach Freeze is the right guy for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you talked about recruiting. Talk about the importance of the transfer portal, especially this year. Right now I think we're ranked the number 2 transfer portal in the nation. And we still have May that's going to come up after spring. But talk about the importance of what the transfer portal has done for Auburn up to this point.
Well, honestly, we have changed. We have flipped the trenches. I mean, I know everybody want to talk about Jason Campbell and the Cadillacs and the Runners and the Cam Newtons and all. But hey, Auburn, games are won in the trenches. And I think that, from offense and defensive line, we have got better up front. Of course, we hadn't played a snap, but I do think that we have gotten better. I think just in this transfer portal, it has been very helpful for us because, we had a lot of we lost 24 seniors, had guys, actually leave. So to be able to flip your roster and do that is absolutely, I think, incredible in the shorter time Coach Freeze and his staff have done. But, we still want to be that team that build through high school. But it just high school players, but it's just one of those things where we had to get deep in the portal to kind of, fill out our roster. And I think we have done an awesome job with that. And I tell you, man, Coach Freeze is a recruit machine. Like he is, I'm telling you, he is a recruit machine. So, it's just good to see, man, that we have a guy that's just, working hard just as hard as us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as he got to town, everyone was on the road. I was like, okay, he didn't even unpack his suitcase and we're out on the road recruiting. But he had a lot of time to make up for, right? And garnering the staff and kind of getting all the pieces in place. Like recruiting can't wait, So to see what all was being done right off the bat really set the tone for where his priorities were and what the emphasis was going to be. And then I think you follow that with the transfer portal ads. And I think it sets the tone that we're looking to make a difference right now. And honestly, you kind of set that precedent at the end of last season. Maybe it wasn't, we're going to win out, but you were saying like, we're going to battle, we're going to put a good product on the field, and we're going to be Auburn. How do you feel the players that are returning have kept that mindset into this new regime and the next phase of Auburn football?
Wow. So I was just in the building yesterday. And last week here and there, but just being around the former player that's coming back, to see them, how they speaking about how we got to be aligned, how it's about hard work, how excited they are to get going. Just in my group test with my running backs, man, they are locked in, all in. That Jarquez, Damari, those guys, even Brian, the new running back from South Florida, those, we're in a group chat where it's like, hey, we about action now. We about hard work. Like, let's,
I love it.
Hey, it don't start in training camp. Like, let's start now. Like, what kind of team do we want to be? What kind of player do you want to be? Like, let's build that environment, that culture now. Like, it starts in the weight room. So I think Coach Dunn, who is our strength coach, does an incredible job, man. So I'm telling you, man, we are gonna fight our tail off. I am excited to be part of this change that's about to happen here at Auburn. And look, we're gonna play some doggone good, hard-nosed Auburn football. And I'm just a firm believer. I'm biased. I just think that's enough for college football.
Yeah.
Of course, Coach Freeze, like I said, it's about the players. We got to close the gap between the Georgia, the Alabama with players. Yeah. Let's not get it twisted. It's about the players, which we are going to win our share. We are going to do a lot better job of getting guys in here and guys that want to be part of this culture and this environment. The arrow is pouring up now. I truly feel like that we are going to get this thing done because, again, it's about the players. It's about meeting them players right where they are, and we have a head coach that does that. But look, before we hang up, I have to give credit that something I left out with that Texas A&M game. Man, first of all, I truly want to thank the fans. Wow, lights out. Thank you, Auburn family. But man, I also I think the coolest moment of all that is to see a lot of my former teammates and to see players that played at Auburn, to see those guys on the sideline, in the locker room, like that empowered me so much. And y'all tricked me, Jason, and made me feel like I can actually get the job done, bro. To see those former players and players that done paved the way for myself well before us, Jason, those trailblazers and players that done play after us, man. That was like the coolest thing in the world. Like I was like, wow. I was like a kid in a candy store just seeing that, being in that environment. So, I do want to thank those former players and that brotherhood, man. Jason, man, I just truly appreciate you all. Appreciate you for covering Auburn and what you mean to Auburn, getting this, getting us out there. And look, we are excited. I mean, Lord, no, I am excited. So I know I talk a little way too much.
No, but, we love it.
So again,
we've made careers out of it, so you're totally fine. No, I mean, I think that's the definition of team, and it doesn't stop when you hang up the cleats. If you do it right, it's for life. Right. So y'all represented that and showcased it for the next generation of Auburn football as well. So incredible stuff. Lack, thank you. I really can't thank you enough for taking the time to chat with us. And I know there's a lot of work to be done, but you and Coach Freeze and the staff are the men to do it. So thank you again, and War Eagle.
Thank you, War Eagle.
War Eagle, bro.